Tristan, we're back.
Pip, we've had a holiday and we are back.
I think it's the most common lie in showbiz is that every actor goes,
how
I
I
can insert whatever skill needed, juggle, horse ride. And then it was actually later that I found out that every other actor in the show was exactly the same.
Okay, great.
None of us could ride, all of us lied. A bit of that.
Well,
I called it the rake
What's
shake.
that?
The rape
6'7"s?
shake.
Oh my God.
How do you know that? Pip just went to turn Gen Z.
Shall I give you the rundown?
Yeah, brief rundown
Okay.
of free
No,
reign.
no spoilers though.
Okay, I won't tell you who dies.
Welcome back to Talk Horse.
I'll gallop through the highs and lows of the equestrian community.
I'm Pippa Funnell. I've been eventing all of my life, and I now do a number of other things, probably too many things.
There was another exciting thing that we realised you did recently.
What?
Something you told me earlier. Action Woman of the Year. Yeah, go on,
that
get
was 2019.
So you have Action Woman of the Year and Aspiring Action Man of the Decade, Tristan Phipps, co-host of Talk Horse, former safari guide, probably know me from Made in Chelsea. However, I am the voice of the horse curious. And I think it's safe to say that I've gone from like a relatively low level to quite an intermediate standard of equestrian knowledge now, I'd say.
Well, I was going to say expert nearly.
Well, there's always room to grow.
You've read your new Pony Club manual.
I've got the literature to support me on this journey. I've got the very best guests and the very best co-host. So I'm in a very good place to learn the very best. And that's what we want to do for you. We want to share the amazing equestrian community with as many people at home.
Today, we have another star of the screen,
A real star.
an accomplished actor who has fallen in love with horses.
Hollywood meets Talk Horse for the first time here in our podcast studio. It's an exciting day. So do like and subscribe. Please join our equestrian community. We want to share as many amazing insights, stories, anecdotes, and also get the very best guests on the podcast. And you help us a lot doing that.
And we are back. I'm sorry we've been away for a while, but we are back. First of the new series.
Absolutely. So saddle up, join our equestrian community and
Let's talk horse. Tristan, we're back.
Pip, we've had a holiday and we are back.
We've had a holiday.
I think you've actually been away more recently than I have for
Well,
the first time ever, which is exciting.
I have just got back, or a week ago, I did get back from a few days in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Where Sharjah to start with, because William obviously is working over there. He's been there since between Christmas and New Year. But I felt I really wanted to go because it was William's, can't believe I'm saying it, William's
60th.
big 60th birthday. So I was there, which was a very much needed little break because January's been a really, really tough month.
It's been a wet month.
It's
been
been
a
very
cold
wet.
month.
And I've, like everyone in the horse world, it's been a very long month. It seemed like 2-3 months. Getting constantly wet, being out in the rain.
I have enjoyed your videos that you've been sending in to us. Pip's been sending videos of her in the traditional English weather, in the freezing cold, in the rain, in the mornings, mucking out, being active. And I can't say I can relate to you on that one because,
Because you're cosy in your
I'm cozy in my
acting
own.
role and here, there and everywhere.
Yeah, but I take my hat off to you. You've broken the back of winter. Well done. I think everyone at home listening, we're almost at the summer months, so keep on digging deep. Kind of. We're almost there, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know really.
We can't have any more rain. I'm done with this.
But it's been busy. It has been busy, but I've literally just come back from
Scotland.
Scotland.
Aye.
Scotland, yeah. I've had, Scotland. I did a 2-day clinic and a big masterclass on Saturday night. So lots of teaching. Had fun. It was at the Scottish National Equestrian Centre. And then obviously it was a big rush back. Nearly missed the plane. My heart rate was probably racing at God knows how many beats per minute. And it was very interesting because the lady I sat next to on the plane was a cardiologist who ended
Person sit next to.
ended up giving me her card. So
What was it? Were you that flustered when you got on the plane?
well, I think she probably looked at me and said, if ever you need someone in this department. So I thought, great, I'll take.
Good friend to have.
So that was really interesting, actually. And she actually also has she's involved in podcasts. So
Podcast friend.
I've got a new podcast friend.
There you go. We'll get her
But
on
anyway,
soon.
enough about me. So what have you been up to? Jules, Jules and you been away again?
Yes, Jules and I have been away. We were in South Africa before Christmas. We've been in London since then. We're back into filming Made in Chelsea. She is filming a lot more than I am. I'm kind of like on the back seat now, which is quite nice. But things are going well, busy. Obviously very excited to get back into Talk Horse. And I feel like we've got a lot to catch up on in this world. Obviously, this is the first one back. And this year, we're all about keeping you up to date with current events in the equestrian world. So what do we have to look forward to in the equestrian world for the next few weeks? What's happened and what is coming up?
In the next few weeks?
Anything exciting?
Well, we've got Cheltenham, the Cheltenham Festival coming up in March. We've got the start of the British eventing season starting the first week in March. That is at Poplar Park in Suffolk.
Nice.
But I will be in Italy helping
nice.
The guys. So hopefully it'll be a bit warmer there.
So what's going on in Italy then? So you got the Japanese riders
competing in Monte Libretti, yeah.
Amazing. And that's is that to qualify for?
Well, two of them. Yoshi and Kanto trying to get a qualification for the World Championships, which is in Aachen. And then a very realistic goal, hopefully, is to try and see if we can get them to the Asian Games, on the Japanese team for the Asian Games.
And when's that?
That is at the end of September, beginning of October, just before the horse trials my brother runs, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary, which obviously my brother and I helped Tim with it because we took it over. Mum set it up 50 years ago and we wanted to carry it on after she and my father, he was joint organisers, so they ran it and then we've sort of taken over. So, yeah, I mean, an exciting event season ahead. Ros Kant has just had another baby, which is brilliant, just great timing before the start of the season.
She times him well.
Yeah, very well. And I mean, she'll be a tough one to beat at Badminton.
On Lordship's Gruffalo as well?
Yeah, very good.
Very good. There you go. Gone from a C- to a D+.
I know people have asked, and I think, again, I'm sure and I really hope we'll get Ros on at some stage, but obviously she's very busy.
Lady.
We've got two little babies, and watch this space.
Yeah.
We'll definitely,
work
because she's such a cool cookie in the eventing world. So lots going on, really.
So safe to say the winter holidays have come to an end for the horses. We're starting to... They had a bit of time off, didn't they?
Yeah, I've had a bit of a disaster, actually, because my 5 babies had a good long break out in the field, and much to my horror,
They didn't want to come back.
No, they wanted to come back. I think they were more than happy to come in because it's been very wet. But 2 of them have had their tails eaten. So I've got 2 bobtails.
Oh, no.
So I don't know which horse is the guilty one, but one of them's been eating tails. So I've got 2 little bobtail Flapjack, my Billy Flapjack. He's got a short tail, and so has Billy Harp. But what to me has been brilliant has been the investment. I spent some money getting 2 all-weather pens, so I've now got 3 areas that they turn out and have a buck in the play because our fields are so wet.
Yeah.
And so they all get out and have a play every day. Nice. It's been good to put that surface down because I know, lots of people would like to see horses being turned out more often, and I would too. But, our situation when it's so wet, and I have to say, if you see, I did a lovely video of Flapjack lying flat out in his bed.
I saw that, it's very sweet.
And I don't think he'd be lying that comfortably if he was just out in the field. I couldn't see it.
I can relate to it a little bit, Pip, because I'm a keen golfer, and obviously this time of year is tough to get out there on the tracks. You have waterlogged surfaces. So I've been spending a lot of my time in indoor arenas in the simulators. So I do feel kind of like, that top level eventing horse in terms of how I've been taking my off season seriously.
And you're in serious training, aren't you?
I am. I'm running a marathon.
Yes.
Yeah. I am. I'm running the Lewa Safari Marathon, which is actually really cool. It's the only marathon which is in a Big 5 game reserve in the Mount Kenya foothills. So it's at elevation on a dirt track in the heat.
So do you start?
So running around the Thames is not really helping much.
Do you start start at the bottom of the mountain and finish at the bottom, or do you start at the top and just finish at the bottom?
Luckily, it's not like a scale of the mountain, because that's quite a high mountain.
Well,
I think
that's
that'd be quite hard to marathon up it. We're running on like, I'm really hoping it's not going to be like
you're gonna have
5,000 metres elevation. It's going to be tough, but it's not going to be as tough as running up the mountain would be.
Right.
So it's in a game reserve, it's in Leywood Conservancy, and I'm running it for Tusk. I'm an ambassador for Tusk, support all the conservation work they do on the ground in Africa. So that should be quite exciting, yeah. Running a marathon in a Big 5 concession, tripping over lions.
I was going to say, you want to be a bit
rhinos.
careful, don't you?
Yeah. Well, the
what
sad thing
happens
is
if you run into...
Well, it depends how long I've been running for, because I'm thinking if I run into an elephant after 21
you're not going to be able
kilometres,
to
I'm
run
gonna be
very
pretty good.
fast.
I'm not going anywhere fast.
You're going to have to do that stance where you don't run away, because they all say you shouldn't run away from
whatever
them.
you
You
don't
have to
run.
go, make yourself look big and go.
That's exactly what you're going to do. That's number one in the game.
It is. I was
Ranger
told
manual.
that. The year we went on safari, we went to Makatu, camp in Botswana, and that's the first thing they say.
Whatever you do,
don't run. Just make yourself look big.
Well, sadly,
and scary
for humans, really, and particularly if you look at a safari world, there is nothing that we are faster than. Like physically, we are very, very much the bottom of the food table. We can't run faster. Maybe a leopard tortoise, we might be able to outrun. Certainly not a leopard.
I don't think I'd even be able to outrun a tortoise.
They can get a shift on when they want to, but we're not programmed to be able to outrun anything over a short distance. Supposedly humans can outrun horses over long distance. What do you think about that? Have you heard that before?
No.
Apparently over anything like a bit longer than a marathon distance or a half marathon, we are better over that distance. I think historically,
not.
maybe not modern humans.
No.
We can set that up as a challenge. When I've done my marathon training, we'll get one of your billies.
Okay.
You're one of your studs, and then we'll race. What a stupid thing to sign up to. What have I done?
Yes.
So this series, we are hoping to get you guys more involved than ever. We love a game on the show. We love the questions for Pippa predominantly, but also, if you've got anything that isn't super equestrian related, I could possibly help out, but mainly aim your questions at Pip. So if you'd like to hear your questions on the show, please send them in. Find us on socials. We've got an email there as well, I believe. info@talk-horse.com.
Details are all in the pod description, but do follow us, leave a review, all that stuff.
All that jazz.
We want this series to be bigger, better than ever.
Yeah.
And we want to keep growing our wonderful equestrian community.
And it is certainly growing. So thank you guys so much for following along for the journey. We're also going to be recording close to big events this year, and even getting some very special live appearances on the show. So keep your eyes and ears peeled.
If you do want to come and listen.
Please do. And the games are back, Pip. You'll be happy to know. I think we're going to end last series on... I personally think that I won last series.
No.
Go on, what do you think?
I was going to
we'll call last series a draw.
I was going to go bollocks to that.
But we're going to start this series from scratch.
The only thing that
Nil-nil.
were big-headed about was the Black Forest Cob.
And your inability.
And I just thought it was a gatto.
Pip's a little bit sour about that. So we'll call it a draw last series, and we're going to start again from scratch. So today is the first game back of the series. Are you excited? Or are you nervous?
Oh, very.
I'm actually getting a message from producers right now. What's that, guys? Yep, copy. So we're actually going to be using the screen this year.
Oh, right.
Very exciting. So we're playing a game called Nay Listers. So there's going to be a name on there which has been slightly tweaked to have an equestrian spin. And it's the first person to guess the A-listers.
So like that would be like walk horse or something? Not walk horse?
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, or like Pippa Funnell would be like...
Yeah.
What's that? The buffering. The buffering thing in my head. Tristan Phipps would be... Wow.
Whips.
Yeah, Tristan Whips, which is actually my Saturday night name. So if you come to Soho on a Saturday night, you'll see me in size 12 high heels under Tristan Whips. But that's a different story. Anyway, should we play the game? And it's first come, first serve, right? So it's speed round.
I've never been very good at speed.
I think you have proven to yourself to be quite good at speed over the years. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
On your marks, get set, go.
Go.
I'm a notorious gangster with an eye for pony. Al Capone.
God.
1-0.
Oh, you're going to win this. You're going to thrash me.
He's getting so upset. It's a fun and games. Okay. Liam, I have a very particular set of skills. Liam Nason.
Oh, sorry. We look at the top. Of course it's going to be that. I didn't look at the top. I was just looking at the riddle.
No, the game's called Nay Listers. That's the game, not the answer.
Okay, right. 2 seconds.
Hasselhoff.
What?
David. Naywatch. Baywatch.
David something. You might find galloping down the beach in Naywatch wearing shiny shoes.
David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, but it's got to be an equestrian spin.
Hasselhoof.
There you go. Now you're getting the game. Come on. It's funny how I hadn't seen it yet and you'd got the answer. That's funny how I was looking that way. David Hasselhoff, that is a good one, to be fair. I'll give it to you.
Okay, now look away. Okay, nail it.
I'm a young horse with an amazing voice.
Philly Eilish? Come on!
And then just
Who's she? Does she sing or something?
Billie Eilish.
Yeah?
You must see me
Billie
in a
Eilish.
home.
Okay, go.
Sometimes even Superman needs some backup.
Henry
with horses.
Cavalry.
Nice. Yeah.
I got that.
You did. Well done. 3-2. So, first game in the series goes to Tristan
You.
Phipps. I think I have to say that the use of the screen was a resounding success.
Only because you won
me.
it.
For me. Just
I
to
can't even read that quick.
If you've got any games at home, or you use ChatGPT to make up some games, then send them our way, please. We love it. It's the highlight of my week is beating Pip at these games.
You're really sad if that's the highlight of your week.
I am.
That's
I need
really
to get out
sad.
more.
I did cheat.
You did? Did you?
I did see it was Henry Cavalry and David Hasselhoff.
Where did you see? Where was it?
Because I cheated. I looked.
Right, Pip. Shall we bring on today's guest?
Okay, today on Talk Horse, we're welcoming Netflix star Joe Ashman, best known for starring as Callum in the hit equine series Free Rein.
Which actually is a horse pun, because it's rein as in like the reins of a horse. So there you go. That could have been one. Despite a tiny little white lie about his brilliant ability to ride, Joe has developed a passion for riding and is here to tell us that it's never too late to jump on the saddle. So
Let's Talk Horse with Joe Ashman. Joey, you've just flown in from LA, especially
exclusively for us.
for us.
This is my first engagement since being back in the UK. So yeah, you
Welcome
can
home.
say absolutely
it.
I flew in for this. No, it's a real pleasure to be here. You guys run a great podcast and I'm very happy to be on it. So thank you.
Have you listened to some then?
Of course.
Oh, good.
Nice. Here we go.
It's not talk horse, it's listen horse for me.
Exact. I like that.
And learn horse for him.
A lot of learn horse for Tristan.
Yeah.
In the deep end.
Yes.
Yeah, baptism of fire, but I wouldn't have it any
I
other
can
way.
relate to that.
Joey, welcome to Talk Horse.
Thank you.
The first question, we very exciting. We really want to kind of delve into your career and kind of your connection with horses, all exciting stuff. But the first question is always the same on Talk Horse. Where did you first connect with horses?
Free Rein, yeah, which is a Netflix series all about horse riding that started in 2017 and we did 3 seasons of it and 2 mini movies of it. And before that, I did grow up in the country, but I never rode. No one in my family ever rode. So I knew that horses existed, but I certainly didn't have an attachment to them. And then, it was when I got cast in Free Rein. You know, the show is, the lead of the show is Zoe and Raven. So, you know, 50% of the show is about horses, really. That's where I first started to ride and got into riding, and then it kind of has been a real prominent factor in my life for the past sort of 9 years.
There was a bit of a white lie that was told, wasn't there, before Free Rein?
No comment.
No comment. Because I imagine if you're getting cast for a show that's probably about horses, there might be some sort of expectation of a level of horsemanship that goes with that. How was that then? Was that baptism of fire? Were you expected to be able to ride straight away, or was...
Yeah. Is the short answer. I think it's the most common lie in showbiz is that every actor goes,
That's how I got
I
here."
can insert whatever skill needed,
Yeah.
you know, juggle, horse ride, surf,
Shoot,
doesn't
standing
matter.
up in the saddle, all that stuff.
Exactly. And so, I went into the audition for Free Rein and I was like, yeah, cool, I've aced the scenes, like this is going well. I was on a second recall and then came back a third recall and then had chemistry tests with some of the other actors that were going to be in it. And I was like, this is going well. And then they asked the dreaded question, can you ride? And I went, yes. They were like, oh, can you? I went, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Are you good? Yeah, brilliant.
Fake it till you make it.
Really good at it. But yeah, no, I couldn't. I'd never sat on a horse. I'd patted a few. But yeah, never ridden before. And then it was actually later that I found out that every other actor in the show was exactly the same.
Okay, great.
None of us could ride. All of us lied.
So
Call that the motto of the show.
So just out of interest, why did you apply to a program of Netflixing about riding? Wasn't there another?
Well, imagine if you're an actor, it's,
Yeah, I know,
acting
but
is part of
if you're an actor, surely you think I'm going to apply for that other film that doesn't involve horses.
Yeah, they wouldn't cast me as James Bond, so I had to settle for the next best thing. Callum in Free Rein.
That's why. And just tell me, you just mentioned chemistry testing.
Yeah.
How did they test that then? Just the vibes?
Not with the horses.
Do you think we'd pass the
We
chemistry test?
did do a chemistry test for Talk Horse.
Did you?
We sat down and had a glass of wine and we got to know
So
each other.
that's a
That's
chemistry
just called
test.
a night out, I
It's
think.
just called
Yeah.
meeting someone, yeah.
So that sort of chemistry test.
Yeah, it's so I did. Who did I do chemistry test? I did chemistry test with Carla, who played my girlfriend on the show, and Freddie, who played Pin. And it's kind of just to make sure that when the two of you act together, it doesn't feel really wooden. Because you obviously, they're investing in 6 months. No, you guys aren't wooden. You guys are great.
We are, to be fair, yeah. We think
I
we
think
passed our
I'm a
chemistry
bit
test.
wooden.
Never.
Anyway.
So, Free Rein.
Yes.
We've done our chemistry tests. I want to understand how you go from not having sat on a horse to then having to ride on camera on a Netflix show. Was that a challenging thing for you to take on, or was that something that you kind of, they facilitate it in an approachable way and then...
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the same with everybody that starts to ride. You have to have lessons, or you have to have somebody that's coaching you. And we had, so it was Steve Dent Stunts provided all the horses for Free Rein. And they're one of the two sort of biggest horse stables for movies in the UK, Steve Dent Stunts and The Devil's Horse.
Yes, I know Steve, because Steve Dent was my husband.
Was your husband?
Yeah.
Exclusive. My husband,
We've got an exclusive.
My husband, we've said this before, he did all the doubling up for the riders. Jilly Cooper's riders. when it came out. My husband and a friend of his, and Steve Dent, they worked with Steve Dent over that.
They're incredible. I feel like everybody that's worked even slightly in the movie world in any capacity has come across Steve Dent Stunts and what they do. And they really are incredible. The horses that they have are out of this world. So I had a completely gifted experience of coming into the horse world, because I was riding on movie horses some of them are even not controlled by legs. They're just controlled by whoever their trainer is going, walk on, trot, canter, whatever you need. But we had a lot of lessons, a lot of lessons. As soon as we booked the job and signed the contract, I was at Steve Dent's at their farm 3 or 4 times before even turning up to do the table read. And then generally we shot for each season was about 4 months. And if you weren't filming, but you were there, because we filmed up in the Northwest, you were there in the hotel, you would have riding lessons, which was awesome. So I was basically paid to horse ride for 2.5 years.
You can relate to that. You got paid to horse ride, didn't you? For a while?
No.
Professional eventing career.
Yeah, that's true. But maybe you were probably slightly higher level than me.
Not much. Not much.
There might
Just
be
a smidge.
A little
Not
bit.
much.
But it was just consistency of lessons. That was the biggest thing that we had. Was so much so that we could request them. I could finish at 3 and get the train home at 4, or I could finish at 3, ride for 2 hours, and then get the train home at 5:30 or something. And so it was just so cool. And that's where my love of horses started to come through, was from these amazing movie horses and the trainers that work with them.
And were you nervous of them when you first started? If having never ever been involved with them, were you a little bit nervous and apprehensive to start with?
Do you know what? I was a little baby 21-year-old who thought I was invincible, and I was not scared at all. I was just like, yeah, get me on. Can I canter? Can I jump? What am I allowed to do? And I look back now, and like my technique is like, my technique now still isn't perfect at all. But I look back and I'm like, my heels are like so far up and like hunched back, and I'm clinging on like this. But I'm like, yeah, let's go faster. Come on. I'm just having so much fun, but with no technique. And bless the trainers, they're like, you're doing great, but let's just one step at a time. Let's walk before we can run, literally.
He's heard me say that many times, haven't you?
Yeah. The Pippa Tristan riding lesson is long overdue.
Yeah.
And
He's not had it yet.
I've been
think people
avoiding
need
it.
to see that as well.
I think more for their enjoyment than for my education, and I'm kind of leaning into that and accepting that. But I do think we are long overdue. That lesson.
There's another very good
I'll
saying.
embarrass myself.
There's another very good saying. No pain, no gain.
Yeah.
See,
That's why he's not coming
Is that the
down.
intention you're going to with our lesson?
Definitely.
You do get sore legs.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, you get sore
I bet
legs.
he's going to get more than sore legs.
And this is why I'm avoiding the lesson. It's the joy that you're going to take out of me embarrassing myself in the saddle. No, I am excited for it. So you've obviously mentioned that you kind of have carried on this love of horses from free rein. So do you manage to get out and ride often these days, or?
Yeah, honestly, as often as I can. I don't. I live in East London. There's not many stables around Mile End, but I do, and I obviously don't have a horse. But I do try and ride whenever I get the opportunity to, whether that's meeting up with friends. And that's the other thing with the horse world. I've made so many new mates from the equestrian world, and I think as an adult, you don't really get the chance to make new friends like you do at school. You don't just go, oh, should we play football together? Oh yeah, now you're going to be my friend forever. And that's like 3 of my friends from year 4. But when you're an adult, you're kind of thrust into work with new people and you have to get on with them because you work 40 hours a week or whatever your job is. But horse riding has been something in my adult life where I've met and made so many incredible new friends that I really think are going to be lifelong friends now. Hopefully us as well. But it really has opened so many, it's been such a wonderful thing for my mental health of meeting new friends, opening a whole new community to me.
Well, I think that's something that Tristan's actually.
Yeah.
You've had your eyes open. Just the people.
Yeah, honestly, just
you've met
from being a
through being-
bystander to Pip and kind of going to these events and just being part of the equestrian community. At first, kind of from the peripheral, but like just the people I've met through you are the most grounded, amazing. We've got Olympians, we've got Chef de Keeps, some of the most amazing individuals who have achieved so much in the equestrian world, but are just so humble and grounded. And that's from everything from the very top to people who are, one of our guests recently does a lot of work with getting disabled people involved in riding, and just like that community feel and that humbleness that everyone in the equestrian world seems to have.
I think the horses do bring people together, and you have a common interest to talk about, and everyone, really, whatever level you sort of realise there are sort of highs and lows to it, and we're at the same time realising how privileged we are to have these animals in our lives.
Yeah, totally agree.
Absolutely. Let's go back to your career and kind of your beginnings as an actor. Was that something that you always wanted to do? Was that a passion of yours growing up, or is it something that you fell into?
I always wanted to be a footballer. That was my thing, and like I could have done it if I was good at football. But I was terrible. So that fell by the wayside about age 9 when I didn't get scouted for Luton Town. Sadly.
Luton Town, if you're watching.
Yeah, it's not too late, MK Dons. No. And then I was a big show-off, basically. And my mum ran a lovely little theatre school, a Stagecoach. And I was forced into going to that by my mum because, it was either that or childcare. And so it was go along with my mum to that. And I just loved it. I loved it. I just got to be silly and fun. And then I basically sort of never grew up. And yeah, I managed to make a living out of it. I've done so many random different things. It's been really fun.
So some on stage.
Done a bit of stage work. Yeah, that's where I started off actually. I got my first gig when I was 10. Oh my God, that's 21 years ago.
Yeah, we're the same, mate. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm 31 as well.
Oh, you're
I
so
feel
young.
like 17.
I know.
What's going
I feel
on?
you. I feel you. No, but it happens real quick. I do feel. Anyway, sorry.
You wait until you get my
You're
to my
21.
age.
I'm convinced you're 21.
So who did you play at the age of? What was your your first roles?
Chitty Bang Bang I did. Yeah. Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Bang. We were doing a group sing along. Come on, everybody! Oh, you Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Bang Bang. We love you. Well, you get the idea with that. Then I did. Should we just go through all the musicals I've done? Do one from each.
I love musicals.
I love a musical.
When we go on holiday, We have someone called Slade, Mark Slade. He's the DJ, all the trendy stuff, and I then
the
put
DJ,
my
yeah.
music on, and they all go crazy because I have all the musical
sing-along,
songs
yeah.
on.
I love that.
What
Sound
other
of music.
Hills are alive.
Oh, nice.
Oh, don't do that. I'll get excited.
Something going
on.
Yes.
It's a banger.
Oh, I wasn't Ralph though, sadly.
Oh,
I
who were
was
you?
Little Kurt,
Oh, the little Diddy one.
the younger one, the one that does the goodbye.
Wow, that was
The
good.
high note.
Yeah.
Yeah, still got it. And then I did some plays as well, and a whole bunch of different stuff. And I remember my parents sort of being like, "Oh, this is cool. How does he keep getting jobs?" And I remember being like, "I don't really know how I'm getting jobs either. I just kind of keep turning up to auditions and felt like I was just because there were all these kids that went to stage school and it was like their thing, and I was just some kid that would rather have been playing football. I didn't do any further education at 18 and just kind of cracked on and was pretty rubbish for 4 years. So I couldn't get a job.
Tough industry to break into, I imagine.
Yeah, it is. But I think so's every industry. So's anything you do. I think just holding down a job is something to be commended. I kind of had a bit of a reevaluation when I was like maybe 20, and I hadn't had really any jobs in 2.5, 3 years. And I was like, what's going wrong? So I did a whole bunch of unpaid short films. I must have done 6 or 7 in the space of 6 months and met some brilliant people on there. Because I was like, I need to get better. I basically, and then kind of treated that as my training. And then quite quickly after that, booked Free Rein. And I was like, oh, damn, it must have worked. Because the auditions that I was going in for, I wasn't getting. And then once I was actually acting, an actor needs to be acting, right? Same way that a horse rider can't get better if they're not riding. That was the same thing for me. And so I just needed to be acting. And I got more jobs, and then it got better.
Amazing.
From there.
So Free Rein was kind of the big break onto screen from stage and kind of...
Yeah, it was. That was. I mean, it still is one of the biggest jobs I've ever done. It's crazy that it's still. The show ended. Nothing's come out for 8 years. It's or just under 8 years. And it's still in the top 10 of kids' Netflix all the time.
Wow.
The Valentine's episode I think was in at number 3 or something. 8 years on it. It's so popular. There's such an amazing appetite for it, and we kind of knew it was nice when it was on. I don't think any of us, if we had foresight, would have been able to see quite the impact that this show has had. And I'm so proud to be a part of it.
And do you think the fan base that you've got, or the show has got, is that predominantly young people who are super connected to the equestrian world, and it's kind of like showcasing their world on screen? Because I guess there's not many other TV shows that kind of do highlight the equestrian world for young people and kind of like something they can relate to almost.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It has. The first thing is it has an absolute global audience. There are, when it first couple of times it's come, or when it drops onto Netflix straight away, we were in the top 10 of kids everywhere in
really
the world, every country, which is incredible. I think there's a lot of reasons why the show is so successful and important. Number one that you've just highlighted is shining a bit of a light on the equestrian world. Number two is there's so much good representation of different types of people within the show, within the equestrian world, which I think is, we've got Jalen as the lead girl in the show, and she is just absolutely incredible. So I think the fact that the show has different types of representation is really good and really important. And the third thing is it's just fun. It's such a lovely, watchable show. You ask about the different types of fan base. I think what's so cool. Also, it's going to make us feel old again. But I had somebody, where was it? Badminton last year, come up to me and say, "Oh my God, I love Free Rein. I used to watch it, and now I watch it with my daughter." So like, she was watching it when she was, 19 or 17, 19, 18, 19, and now she's watching it with her 5-year-old daughter. I was like, oh my God, we're cross-generational. This is great.
That's huge.
So it's so cool. It's so cool to be something that is just, so loved. And this the equestrian world is quite a niche world. So to be, have had the doors opened for me and been allowed in and generally welcomed in with open arms, which is really nice. It's a real privilege.
Amazing.
I have to say, am I allowed to say, I feel really bad because I haven't watched it, and
you would love it.
I haven't watched it.
Thank you very much.
And I can't even work out how to use Netflix.
I'm sure.
So talking about generation and hearing you boys saying that you are old,
Older than we
I
were.
only think they're cheap.
Older than we
4
were.
channels.
Older than we were. Did you know, Pip, how many video games have you got made about you? Pip didn't even
You
know how
did
many
the answer.
PlayStation games she had made about her.
How many are there?
There's like a lot. There's
I don't
12 or
know.
something, I
I
think.
don't know.
Including Wii, on the Wii.
No.
Yeah, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, on the PC,
Oh, that
on the
is
Wii.
so cool.
You can play as Pippa Funnell. I think
That
that's really
is
cool.
so
Talking about
cool.
generational, I think that's pretty
Yeah.
exciting.
How did you do that on the Wii? Just like
Yeah, I'm not sure. We need to actually get that. That would be a fun game for us to get in the
That would
studio.
be
Yeah,
fun.
maybe we should get it at
Let's
some
play the Pips
stage.
games.
Yeah, that's great.
So the point is, I think this
Sorry,
community
I
is like
didn't. So
desperate
I
for
need
it.
to join this Netflix community and
Yeah, I think you do,
watch
Pip. 'cause
free
it's-
range.
Come watch.
Quite
It's
a lot of stuff.
I do
very
apologise.
wholesome and very, very
He
lovely.
did show me a little, literally.
I showed
minute.
I showed the season 3 trailer.
Nice.
Just to get a bit of a,
Yes.
you know, people
Yes.
growing up a bit. There's some different storylines going on.
Yeah.
So do you watch it regularly?
I mean, I'm probably not the demographic, but I have heard of it absolutely, and I've seen clips. Yeah.
Right.
I think
And
that's
my
fair
sis-
to say.
but my
Maybe not the
sisters-
natural demographic.
Yeah, but my sisters are all very horsey, and they've all watched it.
great.
Yeah. But that's why, you know, I'm touching base with my equestrian roots at the age of 31 now.
Yeah. When's your birthday? Who's older?
You're August, aren't you?
Yeah. What?
You've really done your homework.
You don't know my birthday? They're not sent to
No, I do. Sorry, it's
Is it
No,
August?
no, it's
I thought you were Jerry Lunches.
It's April 5th, isn't it?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't remember. Sorry, I forgot.
You are slightly older than me. I'm November.
Oh,
94.
okay.
But not far.
Close.
Close. What was I going to say? I'm intrigued. So how long did you film the show for? It was 3 series and 2
Three
shorts.
series, and we do. So it was about season 1 was I wasn't in season 1. I joined in season 2. Season 1 was about 4 months. Season 2 was about 4 months, and season 3 was about 6 months because we had the 2 mini movies in there.
And
as
that's
well.
over a span of a few years, sort of with a break in between. or
Yeah,
kind of
each
pub-
season a year.
So
Because
that
they
really
kind
is-
of they we were signed for 3 years, or the contracts were for 3 years. So they knew pretty much knew that they were going to do it, and they didn't continue it on from season 3, which is another story. But yeah, about once a year we
Yeah.
go and film.
So I'm intrigued, like, because obviously I imagine you kind of, it's your family at the end of the day, really, if you're filming for that many years, and, you know, and I imagine filming a show like that, because it is about a friendship group and you probably do become real close friends. Was that challenging, kind of stepping away from that, or like saying goodbye to that? Was it kind of just the next chapter?
Do you know it's a really interesting question, and you don't feel that when something's ending, you don't feel that it's the end of it because you're at a party, at the rap party, and you were filming yesterday, so you don't really. I've had much more clarity since it's finished than I did in the moment, and I think I would have like taken more stuff if I knew it was really ending.
Stolen more
like
props.
my boots.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know why I had these like a gorgeous. I couldn't even tell you what brand they were, but like these gorgeous boots, and I was like,
Could you not take them?
I could have done, but I was like,
hindsight.
oh, we'll probably be back for another series, or like, oh, I'll just get some other ones or something. And I would have the only thing I took was a horseshoe from my horse Milo. But I think, yeah, I would have taken more care of like making active memories
Yeah.
had I sort of not, because it was just so busy. And we also, then we knew we had the premiere coming up. We had to do, for the season before, we had voice recording that we had to do for that season. So there was still loads to do. But then suddenly it kind of stops.
Just
and you're
ended,
like,
yeah.
Bit like us,
that
really.
is- yeah.
We're not ending.
No, not ending.
Getting
But we'd
started.
have to do voice recordings and things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. What we're saying is we need to make active memories whilst we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's the quote from the US office? He says, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before they're over.
Amen to that.
And I think that works quite well for lots of things.
Yeah.
This, free reign, loads of stuff.
so tell me, how quickly did you feel bitten by the bug with horses?
I think it actually happened for me once I finished. So I was riding all the time and loving it, but not missing it because I was doing it so much. Maybe a little bit between seasons, but I was still going back, and even between seasons they kept our riding up so that we were able to come back into it for the new season. But I don't think it was until COVID, so like a year after we had wrapped, and I was doing a different show that didn't have horses in it. It was a murder mystery. And then COVID happened quite quickly after that, and it was inside. I was living in this tiny, tiny little flat and didn't have a garden or anything. And I was like, oh yeah, I miss it. And then I think once we started to come out of it, kind of had that realization that we were just talking about of, oh, this is actually, that was really special what I was doing. And so I think it was the detachment from it that made me realize how much I really enjoyed it and loved it. And that was kind of the door to stop being an actor that rides, to start being somebody that really rides for enjoyment. And so I had that kind of year or two of separation. And now when I have had the odd job here and there where I've had to ride not quite as intensely
don't have to lie
as we
anymore.
did on Free. And do you know what the best thing is? I don't have to lie.
You can say, I can ride.
But they go
with your chest.
in the audition, they go, yeah, everybody says that. I go, I was on a
put me
show
on a
for
horse.
3 years about horses, I can, I'm not lying. And they go, well, can you ride a unicycle? I'm like, yeah, I'm brilliant. Yeah. I
Can you ski backwards? Yeah. Well, you've got a great skill from it, and I think it's testament to the equestrian world that it has drawn you in like that.
Yeah.
And there's someone else converted. I mean, I've been converted from the sidelines.
But we still haven't got you on a horse.
Yeah, pending, TBC.
They are quite amazing, aren't they, as creatures?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. They have this sort of bubble around them. And like when you enter the bubble, you just feel so much calmer. It's like this aura. You just give them a little pat. Oh,
It's a lovely word of describing it.
Everything's fine. Everything is going to be okay. Even just if it's for 2 minutes here, everything's going to be all right. They just give off this beautifully calm, relaxing energy. And maybe that's what I was missing a bit and that drew me back in.
Yeah, I imagine running around the world filming things.
You might have to experience the other side when you're trying to get...
When you're shoveling shit in the morning at in the rain.
Yes,
But people do that because they love it.
And also
exactly.
producing young
You chose that.
horses, because some youngsters, that's why the horses are so fascinating, because it's amazing how they develop the more they trust you. So when you're dealing with youngsters that haven't had much interaction with humans, then they build up that trust, and they're incredibly intelligent animals, and
they give us a lot back as well, don't they?
Oh, so much.
Which
so
actually
much.
is a good kind of lead on to your work as an RDA ambassador.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of, because obviously I guess the show is all about kind of grassroots equestrianism, and you've obviously seen that on set, but then how that translates to the real world, was that an important thing for you to kind of lean into?
I just think they're such an incredible charity. They've got, thousands of amazing volunteers that give up their time and share their skills. And then they've got tens of thousands of incredible, inspiring participants that each have their own story and each have their own way in which they have been positively affected by the RDA and the works of the RDA and the horses of the RDA. And I always knew about the RDA once I was in Free Rein and was looking more into kind of outside of that bubble of just Free Rein and looking into the equestrian world. And I really, once my TikTok started growing a little bit, I was like, I think I want to feel like I kind of owe a bit back. The equestrian world's given me so much. A huge amount in work, but also like mental clarity and friendships and acting gigs and things like that I was like, I feel like I want to kind of help offer something else back. And with my TikTok growing, I've been able to kind of raise a bit of awareness, I think, for the RDA. I'm running the marathon for them as well, which is going well. I think I'm like just over £1,000 raised so far, hoping to raise 3, which would be amazing.
Well, hopefully this...
Yes, please. If you
Put
would
your
like
hands in your pockets.
Yeah, honestly,
RDA.
even if it's literally like 50p, like if you can afford,
I'll pledge that to you.
please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Me
it really
too.
does. It really does add up. If I had every single one of my followers donated £1, I'd raise nearly £750,000. So
Which
like,
means that Joey has 750,000 followers.
but even if they donate, so if all of those people donated 1p, that would be
don't do it.
£7,500.
There you go. Yeah.
So like,
1p? Gosh.
Yeah.
so like, in
you can make a
theory-
big impact to the point, and it really does go a long way.
And it is absolutely about the money, but I think it's also about if somebody goes, oh, I know quite a lot about tacking up and I've got a bit of spare time. Why don't I go and volunteer? Or somebody goes, oh, I know somebody that would really, really benefit from just trying something different. Just trying something different, whether that's aiding them physically or in a mental capacity. I love that I'm able to just shout about them a bit. And it's such an honour to be an ambassador and running the marathon for them. But yeah, like you said, put your hand in your pocket.
But you're right.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important
But
as well.
it is. It's. I mean, I've witnessed. I mean, some years ago now, I actually taught a sort of group of riders, RDA riders, and it's very moving to see how the effect these horses and ponies have with these riders. It's incredible, and you realise, yes, I've been involved with horses all my life, and I absolutely love them, and they're not machines for my job at all. They're
Partners.
They're my family members. But I'm living in a world of sport with horses, but even though I love them and treat them like my family members, but it is incredible how many people they help from a mental point of view and a physical point of view. It is incredible.
I guess what the RDA kind of does really well as well, and you probably relate to this, we both live in London, and I guess it's about accessibility as well. And there's a lot of RDA centres that are in urban areas as well.
Yes.
So I think people who don't think it's accessible, there are a lot of people out there who can facilitate and connect you with horses. So reach out a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. As if you're not necessarily in the countryside or you haven't got access on your front door to fields, there are still places.
Because Ebony's just 10 minutes away from here.
Oh, is it?
Ebony riding horse.
Ebony riding.
What are they?
Park Lanes in
Park
Kennington.
Lane. I was at
Lane.
Park Lane not long ago, and again, that was just another example of just amazing people. Everybody there was just an amazing person for one reason or another. And like you say, yeah, I think it's really good to have that in cities, rather than it just being a countryside posh thing that we do is ride the horses. No,
And horses
the RDA
don't
makes
judge,
it.
do they?
No,
They
the
don't
RDA
judge.
is making it accessible, and I think that's a lovely, amazing thing that they do.
And we've had so many guests on this pod as well who, have come from all walks of life, not necessarily country folk, who have connected with horses at some stage, whether that be in an urban environment or, a pony club or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's made a huge difference. So I think that's the big takeaway, is to encourage people to connect in whatever capacity.
Yeah.
Whether that be filming on Free Rein, being a co-host of a podcast, or being a champion event rider.
Or a wee character.
Or a
actually.
wee character. I'm desperate to. We have to find that game. I would love to. I'd love to play Pippa Funnell on a computer game.
Would you now?
I would. I think that'd be really exciting. What have you been up to in your weekend, Tristan? I've just been playing as Pippa Funnell on the Wii. I need to get out more.
Count me in, by the way.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
coming
let's-
over
let's
for
meet
that.
up
Once
and
you,
we'll
once
go,
you dig
yeah.
out the Wii, I'm in. I'm so in.
Sold. I want to lean into. So you had a certain connection with a horse on Free Rein. Milo.
Oh, Milo.
Milo.
Oh, my God.
Obviously, that's probably one of the first horses that you've had an emotional connection with. And did you have Milo throughout the whole series or throughout?
He
the
got
two
a
series?
promotion.
How
So
does that
season
work?
3, they whisked him off to go and be a star in Outlander in America.
Oh, that's a
Well, sorry, they film it up in Scotland, but there's a massive show in America.
Yeah.
So I had him for season 2. I think he was the first horse I ever rode.
wow.
And he was one of Steve Dent's.
And he's a Steve Dent. He's still there.
Nice.
And he was young. And the coolest thing about this, and I always felt so connected to him because he was young. He was 6, and it was Free Rein was his first TV show and my first TV show, and it was like this thing that we were doing together. And so, yeah, I got to ride on him so much, and it makes such a difference when you're riding a horse. I mean, I'm sure you can testify to that. Because we would ride each other's horses, so I would ride on
You'd swap a
Raver.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, for lessons mostly,
Oh, right,
whoever
yeah.
was free, and I was always infinitely better on
Him.
Milo, definitely. And then season 3, he got whisked off to go and be on Outlander. I couldn't believe it. And I
Slightly different kind of.
slightly different. Yeah.
Outlaw is a great show. It's very
Another one
different
I
to
don't
Free Rein.
know.
There's a lot more murder.
Yeah, a bit of killing in that
lot of
one.
killing, yeah.
Not so much murder in Free Rein.
Yeah.
Very, very, not even PG. Softer than PG.
Yeah.
So Free Rein is about what? I know, because I think probably there might be quite a lot of listeners.
We were going, what's Free Rein?
So
shall I
just a
give you the
bit,
rundown?
a brief rundown
Okay.
of Free
No,
Rein.
no spoilers though.
Okay, I won't tell you who dies.
Yeah.
Oh, Oh God. Free Rein. Zoe, a girl who lives in America, comes over to stay for the summer with her granddad, and in this little place, it's kind of like the Isle of Wight, but it's not the Isle of Wight. It's a fictional island, and it's so beautiful. So Zoe comes over, and she starts hanging out with the people at Brightfield's stable, and there is this untamable wild horse called Raven. Guess who has a connection with Raven? It's only Zoe with no experience on the horse.
Do you know what? They've copied my ponytails.
This is when you can't sue
the
Netflix
same,
now.
That's the same story as mine. She comes over.
Zoe comes over from America?
She's adopted, yeah, and she's the only one that
No,
can
but Zoe's
tame.
just visiting her grandpa for the week. For
Yeah,
summer.
but it's similar, and she's the only one. Tilly is the only one that can tame Magic Spirit. They've copied my books.
Which
I
one
know.
came out first?
That's one of the latest ones.
That's one of the latest ones.
What was your first one?
2008.
Get on the phone to
Get
the
on the
lawyers.
blower. Yeah.
Get the contracts out. Sue.
That is my story. Carry on.
Well, it's
Let
going
me
to be a good
hear.
story there.
Let me hear,
Let's see if it all matches up.
Yes, because Magic Spirit was the wild one that only Tilly could tame.
Well, that was the same with Zoe and Raven. She manages to tame him, and then they go on all sorts of adventures together. They make the rival stable.
That is the
That's me.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. Let me know if you make it into a TV show. Just age the characters up a bit. We'll be in it.
Yeah, I'll be in it. I'll be the stable boy.
I can't get away with being 16 anymore, I don't think, sadly.
So yeah, I don't know if that's
Well, my husband, they always said that my books, if I took the age range up a bit, what Tilly does at the next stage in her life, they said that would be a
Post Pony
sellout.
Club. Tilly Post Pony Club. Tilly's at uni now. Weekends are slightly different.
Okay, carry on. But tell us more, sorry, because I'm intrigued that it just sounds very like my books, but carry on.
Well, that's kind of the setup. That's the premise of the show.
Right.
It's just got so much heart. It looks beautiful. I think it's quite well acted. It's a really, really lovely watch. And I think the thing that I find most is that I don't really know anybody that's just watched it once. People go back to it. It's like their safety blanket. I've got people say, I watched it on my 16th watch. I mean, it's
Wow,
amazing.
that's serious.
They know it better than me, definitely.
Wow.
So you were the bad guy
And the bad
from
guy.
the other stable.
Yeah, so we've got a bit more money than grassroots Brightfields. We've got a big old
Yeah, you see,
posh
I had
stable.
the other one was, you see, in my book, it was the posh kids at the posh school.
What was it called?
Cosford. Yeah.
I thought it might be Holloway.
But change the
No.
name.
They're going to change the name. They're not going to give away the name of my book.
Yeah, exactly.
And what was the name? So what was your horse like? Milo.
Was Milo actually called Milo on the?
Milo was actually called Milo.
And
Milo
were you-
real life.
Milo played himself.
And you were good, were you? Quite a good. You were meant to be a good rider.
Yeah, I'm sort of the captain of the baddies, but I do a couple of naughty things towards the back end of the show. No spoilers, but actually some pretty naughty work. Oh, spoiler!
You're gonna go home and watch it now, aren't you?
No, because Brooke was a nice one at the.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
From
we all
my
like a coming of age kind of like, you know, there can be a. You were nice in the end, no?
We don't ever find out, but I think I
Yeah.
go to prison.
Oh,
So I'm going.
Oh yeah, no, Brooke did.
We
get
never
off
actually.
prison.
I get lassoed.
Oh, is that bad?
I get lassoed
No.
and pulled with my legs underneath me, and then I just think you never see me again. So I think
Rumour has it he's
either
still
I get
just in the
pulled
bush
off into a
somewhere.
Western film,
Yeah, you're
or
an
I go to
Outlander.
prison. Yeah.
I think they changed the story actually because Brooke ended up being Tilly's half brother. So you aren't.
Oh, we do have a secret brother sister relationship. I shan't tell you who.
you're actually considering suing him. Aren't
I
you?
am.
This is a great exclusive.
Yeah.
Watch out, Netflix.
Yeah.
We come back for our next episode, and Pip's won £100 million lawsuit.
Do you know any good lawyers?
Just going back to the RDA quickly, because I think it's really important for people to know what's out there and also know how to connect. What advice would you give to people who maybe haven't come from a particularly equestrian background or don't think it's accessible, just from your work with RDA and the stuff they offer? Like, what advice would you give to people who are kind of looking for a community or kind of would like to be able to connect with something like RDA?
Yeah, I think it can feel really, if for example, if you don't know how to tack up, or you don't know the different breeds of horses, or you don't know what you should wear, or you don't know anybody there, it can feel really like walking into the jungle blind. I don't know anything about this, but actually all it really takes is, if you go, for example, an RDA centre, all it takes is a knock on the door. I don't know anything about this, but I would love to learn a little bit more and just kind of see if maybe we can make something happen here. Come and have a cup of tea. Yes, come on, sit down. Well, we're going to get you mucking out though. You've got to work for your cup of tea, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm in. I'm here. I'm doing it. I might be wearing the wrong shoes, but I'm in. And I think that's something that the RDA does so well. It's so unsnooty, and I love that.
I would, if you come and muck out, I'll make you a cup of tea.
Will you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good at the mucking out. I got
Okay.
the rake shake down.
So
No excess wood chips here, just poo.
Tomorrow
those are good
morning.
ones. Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, you're up for it,
Yeah.
boys?
5 a.m.
Oh no, I've got plough.
I've got hot Pilates tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you're all talk, just because you're on camera, you're all like, here we go, you're lying again. But when it comes down to the crunch, you're not going to get your
Pip,
hands
the amount of cup of
dirty.
teas I've made you over the years, I think I'll come up to the yard and you can make me one, and I will shovel some shit for you.
Yeah.
It'd be my honour
Okay.
to be able to give.
But
you
as you
question
say,
community.
I'm very strict because shavings cost an absolute fortune, and it drives me mad if they chuck too many clean shavings away with a boot.
Well, that's why you need the
Yeah.
what's it called?
Bit of that.
A bit of that.
Well, I called it the rake
What's
shake.
that?
The rake
6/7?
shake.
Oh my god.
Whoa! How do you know that? Pip just went to turn Gen Z. Whoa! You've been on TikTok. You have.
No, you're going to teach me that.
That
I've
was
got to learn
pretty
about
good.
TikTok.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Please, can we get just a clip of Pip?
6/7?
Oh my god!
Instantly viral.
So
Done.
you've just connected with the youth in a way you've got no idea. Rake shake actually leads me on to one of my questions.
This could be going anywhere.
It could be going anywhere.
Rake shake. That's
Rake
actually
shake.
quite a good term
Well,
for it.
I think
Yeah.
it is called a rake shake.
I don't know if it is. I just sort of said it.
I've
but it
never heard
works.
of rake
It's quite
shake
good, isn't it?
before.
Well, we have a segment called Top Tack Tips,
Yes.
and I'd love to get your advice or your thoughts. Anything
Yes.
that, whilst on set, whilst learning, any practical bit of advice, any piece of kit,
Yeah,
anything that
practical.
really helped you go from 0 to 100.
I don't know if this is tack advice, but I just got back from America and I went for a ride amazingly, oh my God, in the Hollywood Hills.
Wow.
Which was incredible, with a Western saddle. And I really liked that it had the handle on it.
Little pommel.
So you could hold on.
Yeah, you just hold. You just hold on. I really enjoyed it, and I really loved the detailing. It was all kind of like stitched in.
You have a slouch hat and a straw.
I wore a helmet because I'm. Oh, no, that's my advice. Wear a
Stetson.
helmet.
Wear a helmet.
Wear a helmet. That's my advice. Particularly on TikTok, because otherwise people will come for you.
Okay, so a Western saddle and a helmet
A Western saddle, a helmet, and
and a good attitude.
a good attitude and a groom.
Top ticks.
Great.
Very good. Joey, finally, our last question. And you've answered this throughout the podcast, but just in a streamlined way, what advice would you give to those at home who love or live with horses in terms of kind of pursuing, whether it be a career in the equestrian world or just a connection with horses?
The only advice I feel equipped to give is follow your heart. If you really feel a desire, or you watch somebody else riding, or you see it on the telly, or you see a clip of it, or you just see a horse in a field, and you get that little pull, just go and follow it. And it doesn't need to be your career necessarily. It doesn't need to be something, you don't need to go out and buy a horse straight away. I've absolutely loved getting into the equestrian world, but it doesn't have to be, you don't have to go full time. Maybe that's my advice, is that it can just be something that you do casually. You don't have to go full in straight away.
I like it. I can relate to that advice. Joey, thank you
I
so much.
can't because I'm full in. Head
You are-
Yeah, you
I hate
full
to
in
say
your
it,
whole
but
life.
I think you might be too far.
Maybe
down
that's
with
where
that
I went wrong.
one. Yeah. If you could go back in
Those
time.
wet January days, getting cold and wet.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You make your bed. Joey, thank you so much. It's
Thank
been an
you for
absolute
having
pleasure.
me.
Thanks for flying straight in from LA and chatting to us.
I
Yes,
am a
thank
little
you.
bit bleary-eyed. I'm seeing 3 of you, which is quite confusing.
There are. There's
him
But
and
no,
his
it's been a pleasure.
twin.
Thank you. Yeah.
my alter ego. Joey, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
so always at the end of the episode, we have a catch up. But as you can see, my co-host has left. Jet setting off to a meeting.
Yeah.
Joey, thank you.
I'm still here.
Thank you.
I thought
for
Tristan did
staying
quite well
on.
today. What do you think of his performance?
He's getting better. He's getting better. But I thought
It's only up though, really, isn't it?
But I thought our guest today, it was great to hear all about free rein.
Thank you.
Great to hear how you've been come into the equestrian world and how you've been bitten by the bug of a life with horses, or not a whole life, but the enjoyment you get from horses, and super to hear that you're supporting the RDA. So,
Thank
you know, really appreciate you coming. And yes, I do apologise for my co-host. Hopefully his wages will be cut.
Yeah.
But anyway.
No, he has to donate them to the RDA.
Yes, good
there we
idea.
go. Yes.
Exactly. So I hope you really enjoyed listening to this episode. So we love to hear your reviews, any questions as usual, but please join the podcast again. It's great to be back for this 3rd season now. So tune in, join the equestrian community, and
Join us next time, because we've got so much more talk horse to share. Was that right?
that's brilliant.
Was it good?
Tristan's lost his job. Bye for now.